Hello. Hold on. Let me get Red out of the way. I'm going to kick that if I don't move it, so I'm going to get it moved. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little late. I have a order I have to get done. Well, see, I knew I wouldn't cut enough. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's one set. All right. Hello, Arlene. Carla. Good morning, Miss Francis. Oh. Yeah, they're going to be real surprised. 4, 5, 6, 7. How am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Maybe I screwed one up. It's middle gray. Nope. That's definitely not it. See, this is what happens. That's it. Oh. So I was going to come on early this morning, but then I had this come in and I was like, I got to get this done. I think it's going to be epic. I agree. Like, you just imagine, you think you're getting something, you know, like actually getting something, and you get a Bible. Get right with the Lord, boy. Oh, it's all kinds of funny. I mean, it's not funny that you're out the Bible, but it's hysterical. It's actually better than a poop bomb. That is better than a poop bomb. All right, I'm moving this. No, I'm putting this away because I'll kick it. Y'all know I will. I don't know if y'all know what those things weigh, but they're heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. All right, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I can package and ship those later. But they're cut. That's the important part. Okay. All right, so let's get caught up. So I changed this a little bit. I didn't like the way that it sat with the ring on there, so I just put in an eyelet and I put the cord under it. Doesn't have a whole lot of protrusion here as far as like inside of it, but it allows it to stay, reasonably well. We did, we put some decoration in here, very minimal. And that's it. This one's done. So we're going to do the card today because I got to get my card done, which is coffee or tea. And I went ahead and pulled some stuff for that so we can get that out of the way. Okay. So let me get this done. Hi, Christine. Okay. So I need writing. Ooh. Helps if you get that dauber head too there, silly girl. Okay. Got it off of there. Okay. So I'm going to change this one out, so we're just going to get rid of it now. There you go. And we'll grab this one. Okay. Ah. That would be funny. Oh. Okay. So I have this little image. So we're going to put this on here. If I can get this glue to work. There we go. So when I'm done with this, we're going to get started working through how to make the base for the Lapbook. I don't think I want to use that. It's too big. So we're going to cut out some teacups. Just going to use what I have, which is the scraps that I just cut. So I'm just going to cut out a teacup and a saucer. And then I'm going to cut out one of these little designs. What do I have here that's colored? Need some colored paper. Nothing. I have nothing within reach. Let me grab something. Ooh, sorry.
No, sorry.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, let me grab a little piece of this. I'll just run this real quick. And I know there's some of that in here. Here we go. A piece of that. There it is. I'll get a little piece of this. Okay. Now we're going to run these real quick. I don't know. That looks like a used tea bag, right? Take that off of there. That there. Okay. I want to get that little top of the tea bag in a different color, so. Okay. Get this out of the way. Amy's in the house. All right. Let me get this out of here. This is a very fidgety little piece. Tea bag. It likes to tear. We're going to be careful. All right, so we got the tea bag. We got the little top of the tea bag. We have a saucer. we go. And a teacup. Okay, now we have designs to choose from for our teacup. Let's take a look at this one. Doesn't really matter, you know? So, I'm going to put some glue on here. We're going to put this on our teacup. And then I'm going to take this little booger. I'm going to cut that piece of the top off there. If I can get it. There we go. A little bit of glue. I dropped it. That on there. So my original plan was to take my grandsons camping. Well, it started off as buggy. Then we asked the dude if he wanted to go, and he said he wanted to go. So we said, okay, we'll take the dude. Well, then it was, we can't leave Tristan home alone. You know, that's just not right. So we decided that we would take the boys. So Buggy gets home the other day. He went home because he had some things he had to do. And he goes home. And what do we get back? The girls want to go. So apparently now our little camping trip is turning into a campapalooza.
How many?
That's going to be a total of 5.
Wait, I only heard 3 boys last. What happened?
Shaylee and Brittany want to go now. Let's see. I'm going to do this right here. So there's my plate. These are Temu dots. Nothing from Temu. We're trying them. Okay. Now we're going to put on our tea. So, you know, me and Pop and 5 kids. There's going to be murder in the desert. Murder on the mountain. Going up the mountain. All right. Let me put this away. Here. We're going to cut one of these. Let me just... cut this out. Inky poo. The glue. All right, there we go. Okay. So that is my for this one. Oh, I know. Took longer than I thought it was going to. I'm sorry. Here we go. All right. Let me write this up and we're done. All right. Hashtag projects of 24 challenge. 725. 24. Coffee and tea. All right, that's it. That's what we got. In the bin. Okay. All right. So we are going to Hi, Sherry. Okay. So this is that book that I got at the Dollar Tree. And when she's all said and done, it's going to be about that size. Okay. Now, one of these, this one, has some damage. So we're going to fix it. Do that first. So I assume everybody knows how to gut a book. I don't happen to have one here that I can gut. So I'm hoping everybody knows how, because I didn't think, and I gutted this book. Wait, I have one I can gut quickly. We can gut this one. Okay. So when you're gutting a book, I usually like to put the least amount of razor out that I possibly can. And the first thing I always do is pull my cover and my center away from each other. Okay. And then I put in just little slices. And I kind of pull it a little bit till I get to what I'm looking for. And that is the ability to see into there. And then once I have the first part off, then I cut the second part. And you may have to extend your blade a little bit on the second half because you have to go through the, past the book. Okay? So that's, you got the guts and you have the cover. All right? And usually there's no damage. And sometimes, What? Okay. See, usually no damage. You've got your book. Okay? Now, but what do I do if I have damage? Well, there are a few things that you can do. There's the one that's damaged. This one. Yes, this one. There's a few things that you can do. One, you could cover this with a piece of fabric or something in your book project that's going to make that stronger. But if you want to make sure that you've actually strengthened it, I recommend that you use some Tyvek. Just put a piece of Tyvek here and glue it down, okay? Or at least over where your damage is. If you don't have, those, the other option is book tape. It comes in a bunch of colors. This is a paper tape. This one is the craft one. There's also a black, more fibery one that has more strings and fibers in it, which is a stronger bond. But this is good for just small repairs. Now that we've said that. Yes. Yeah, it's called Trust Exercise. Some book by Susan Cho. I have no idea.
Do you want to show them the book tape?
So this one is Amy's. And when I was gutting it, I accidentally sliced it.
All the way through.
Because the spine was really, wow, in this one, tight. And so this is the black book tape. And you can see, you've probably seen this on books at the library before because it's what libraries use to keep their books bound together. So that's Amy's. Thank you, honey. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be the one I'm going to use. So we're going to start with, we need to cut some things. Okay. And my spine is just a hair over 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut 2 strips that are 3/4 of an inch by 9.5. That's going to go on my spine. Excuse me. Hello. Hello. Okay, again, this is not Joseleta's number. Please delete it. For 3 years now, they've been calling me for this woman. Same number. So we're going to cut a piece here that's 3/4 of an inch. That's going to go on our spine. And then we're going to cut a piece that's twice that, so 1.5 inches. That's going to be our bottom spine, okay? By 9 inches. Ugh. Hello, puppy dogs. Okay. So I have a nice piece of chipboard. The first thing we're going to do is cut it to 9. Grammy Jillian. Oh, awesome, Patty Ann. Hi, baby. Okay, so if you don't want to use a razor blade to cut it out, you can always use Arlene's method. Run something over it and pull. All right. So now we need 2 pieces that are 3/4 of an inch. And then 1 piece that's about 2 inches. So I'm going to cut the first one. make sure I'm cutting this right. Yep. So I'm going to cut this first one at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to just look at it to see how it works. Because the book is kind of an odd shape, odd size. Probably why it's in the dollar store. Okay. No, that's going to work. All right, so 3/4 of an inch. I need 2 of those. And then I'm going to do one that is about 1.5 inches. We're going to see how that works. It may need to be bigger, but 1.5 inches works good for me at this point. Okay. Oop. So if I put this one in, we measured our book. It was 9 inches. Why is this not the right length? That's 9 inches. Because the book's 9.5. It's okay. I'll fix it. I'll cut a piece that's 9.5 later. The 9 works okay in here because it's going to be in. Yeah, no, that's not going to be possible because baby's going to, you know. What are you going to do? Stand there? Okay. I don't want to go out to the garage to get chipboard, so we're going to use double. And that's to say that I'm going to double this up. Okay. 9.5. Why'd you guys let me cut that at 9? Okay. 9.5. Turn it this way. Three-quarters. Amy and I had to go to the craft store the other day. We went to 2 craft stores, and both of them were like, our air conditioner's on the fritz. No, you cheap shit. You just don't want to turn on your air conditioning. Which doesn't make any sense because their employees are all standing there with fans. Which I have to tell you is actually more electricity to cool less people. All right. Get rid of these. All right. So now, since I had to cut this at a double, I have to cut double. So, and I'll cut the rest of it later. I just kind of wanted to, you know. So what I'm going to do is I will glue these pieces together, and then we will put them in. Muy better. Okay, so I'm going to get these in. Where's my glue? Glue, glue, glue. There's my glue. Okay. Glue, glue, glue. One. This is the one that went wonky. And glue one on top of it. Two. And that will strengthen the spine. Okay. So now I need one that's 3/4 of an inch. Get this squared. Two of these. Okay, and then we need that other one for the back, which is 1.5 inches. Okay. All right. So these two, we can't put these on the book, to make it work. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to glue it up. Don't ask. Don't ask. I cut it out of the wrong stuff. It's been one of those days, and I just got out of bed. And blame it on the heat. Maybe it's lack of ribs. Maybe I need to go get some ribs. There are fat ladies doing happy dances all over the world right now. Ribs! Okay. Now, that's right. Okay, here we go. Book number 2. This is the one that has a little tear in it. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and we'll work on the tear. I'll work on the tear later. Or we'll work on the tear. I'll work on the tear. 1. Now, if you want this to stay in there and you're worried about it, you could clamp the ends, or you could just put a rubber band around the whole thing. 2. Okay. Well, you might be able to get one cheap, you know, Patty Ann, because Arlene got one stolen. So, you know, they might be wanting to fence it real quick. Okay, so I have those. Now, I'm going to glue these two together. I'm telling you, I'm having a day. And then we're going to take a look at a couple of options for covering this, okay? So if you have a book like the one that Amy brought out, that has a lot of, like, it's colored, there's pictures on the cover itself, you may not want those pictures on your journal, on your Lapbook. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you just want it to be, you know, decored the way you wanted it done. Well, see, this one's pure white. It's like a creamy white color. So I can actually use this as my background. And I don't have to put fabric on this or anything else if I don't want to make a background. Okay? But if you're going to be making a fabric background, you need to know how tall your book is. This one's 9.5. So I need at least 1 inch on either side. 10.5, 11.5. So I want about 1/3 of a yard of fabric. Okay. I want to make sure that my pattern goes across the fabric. 1/3 of a yard, 1 foot of a yard, 1 foot is going to be plenty enough to do an entire lap book with plenty left over. Okay. Because that's about, you know, that's about my 1.5 inches right there. Both of my books covered up. Fantastic. If you're using a smaller book, just make sure that you get at least 2 inches more in the height of your book in the direction that the pattern goes. If you have fabric that is not directional, like this, how'd you know that was coming? See, this is not directional. Dracula goes this way. The Invisible Man goes this way. The creature goes that way. The mummy goes this way. Frankenstein's going that way. Because this is a non-directional fabric, you don't have to worry so much about, you know, your height and stuff. You don't need to get the extra. But if it's a non-directional,
the extra, but you can probably use a remnant if you have non-directional fabric.
Right.
Instead of having to buy a whole 1/3 of the yard.
And what I recommend is that you measure it from the side. Now there's 2 selvage sides. There's this one that has the white line on it, and then there's usually this one that does not. This one is no. Go with this one.
Why?
Because that way, if you cut too close, you don't get that white.
Oh, okay.
So you would just put your book together. You're going to put all 3 pieces, which we'll do later, but I just want to talk about fabric because I know some people need to go get it. And you just want to make sure that you have at least 1 inch all the way around so that you can fold it in. And you want that to be as wide as you need it. So start on one side and work your way across the fabric. Now we're going to talk about the other kind because I know that there's somebody out there who's obsessive enough to do this. Thank you. There is a pattern on your fabric that you want dead center in the middle of your book cover.
Oh yeah, there's always one of those out there. Every time.
So if that's the case, make sure that when you're cutting it, you move it over enough. You can trim off more, but you can't put it back to put that where you want it as far as the front cover of your book, okay? And I get it. Sometimes fabrics, you know, they have like that one specific really cool element on them and then just a bunch of noise around it, and you want that element, okay? So for this one, I'm not using the fabric. I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And you know what I decided? I'm not doing it. I'm going to be doing this one entirely with paper. So to that end, yeah, crafting common sense. Okay, so I bought a digital for this. And it's just really pretty. So I want to let this kind of shine on its own. And it's actually, this is actually 3 different digitals, but they're all very, very close. You know, it's just gorgeous. So I want to do it with this, you know. And we'll get the same kind of idea as we got with the smaller one. And there's one page in here, this one, that just doesn't seem to fit. I don't know why. But it's gone now. But these are just beautiful images, gorgeous scenes. I love the little background in it. So we're going to be using these. So that's the paper we're going to use. And I have some other pieces that I had that work. So we'll be using these as well. And we're going to be making our own ephemera for this one. We're going to be doing pretty much everything on this by hand, you know, from scratch, so to speak. So we're going to be making some ephemera for it. That'll be tomorrow. We'll start with ephemera. I might start some today, but I did do some cut down. I also had these in my stash. This was a freebie from somebody. And I thought, you know, it kind of blends. It kind of works. It's not perfect, but it does work. And then I cut out, I have this set that I got, that I found, that is all, you know, like that. And then some of these.
Hi, this is Mike.
And I thought we could use some of those. And then we do have a couple of pieces that are left over from the last one, since we're kind of going on the same idea. These are the pressed flowers. So we're going to be making our own ephemera for this one. We're going to be, you know, doing our pockets and stuff. And we're going to get this all put together. In addition to the book, the paper, you're going to want 1 or 2 file folders to make the flips and stuff, because those have to be, you know, they have to be strong. So you're probably going to want file folders for that.
8821.
I would say at least 3 of them. Regular size, at least 3.
Yes.
Maybe 4. Yeah, I don't know what was that one. It was just, it's dark. I don't know why. But yeah, so I have this one. And so I'm going to be using this because, you know, it's a field journal. We're making a field journal again. We did a little one, and now we're going to do a full-sized one. And so we're going to be kind of working this probably for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so homework. We get homework today. If you're going to be making this, make sure that you have 2 books of equal height. They do not need to be the same width, but they do need to be the same height. Okay, so if you want to use like a 1-inch book and like a 3-inch book, or 1 and a 2, that's fine as long as the height is the same. Okay. get out the paper that you want to use. You do not need to buy a digital. If you don't want to use a digital and you want to use a paper pad, use a paper pad. That's entirely up to you. If you want to make some of the ephemera pieces for this, much like the ones that we made for the smaller one, let me pull this out so we can take a look. So we're going to be making some of this stuff, to go in here, some of this stuff. So we're going to be making some of this type of stuff. It's going to be pretty much flat because this is going to be a big book to begin with. So we're going to be making some pretty flat ephemera to go in it, but we're going to be doing that. I know, clustering. We're clustering. We're going to be making the inside flip. We're going to be putting a notebook in here, or at least a journaling space. Doesn't have to be a notebook. It can be a journaling space. We may or may not put a pad in here. It is entirely up to you what you want to put in it. We are going to start with making some ephemera pieces to kind of get us an overall idea of what we're going to be putting in here. Amy should have fun with that, and she gets to cut up those. Got her a digital creepy dolls.
No, so ETA for repair or some of the cards should be about now, so figure probably about
Bye, Marianne.
should be done with that. So on.
All right, so we'll sort of say goodbye to you.
All right.
Now you're a lurker, and we love lurkers. So books, paper,
All right.
snippets and bits. Get you out your little bit box. And you're going to want, like I said, at least 3, possibly 4 good weight paper file folders. Okay. What else? Is that it? I think that's it, guys. I think that's everything we're going to want for this one. So, that out of the way. So if you do what I did and you cut your book, you can add the tape, which I'm going to do, or you can, and you can, if you want, you can put some, we'll do a patch in here as well, but I'm going to do the tape and then we'll do the patch. So let me grab a piece of Tyvek real quick. Where's my Tyvek?
You do it.
No, you did it. It's always you.
I didn't do it.
Let me see if I got a piece of it.
I've wrapped no houses lately. Come on.
Hi. I have like bags of Tyvek and I couldn't find any. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair this. So I'm going to cut a piece that's, big enough to repair it. And I'm going to put some glue in here. So glue out here. You can see I'm using a lot of glue. Ball, where's my ball? never find the thing I'm looking for, you know? Of course, let's talk about what I'm working with here. And then, of course, there's Harry, who steals everything. Do not see my bowl. It's around here someplace. Oh, well, I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to make sure that I push this in and down really well. And then I get a good amount of adhesive underneath here. Okay. So that is that part. Now I know that that is stable. And then the next part of this is going to be putting on my tape. Now this is going to get covered, so it doesn't really have to look beautiful. But because this is a mirrored image, whatever I do here, I have to do here. So I don't have to fix this one because I didn't cut this one, but I do need to put the tape on it. Now this is a low tack tape. This paper tape takes it a while for it to really kind of settle in, this paper one. So you can pull it up pretty easy until it like sits there for a while. Then it bonds, you know? So you have some time to play with it. We're going to do this side. And this side. If you want to add more glue to it, you can do that. But I have learned that if you just leave this alone, it will create a very permanent bond, okay? Okay, so now we have a mirrored image. Again, back to that mirrored image. And these are ready to be covered. Now, we set this to the side. This is going to go on just like you would put, just like, you know, you would see me put on a regular spine. I'm going to treat these as if they're just, we're going to put that in. We're going to put a piece of Tyvek on. We're going to do this side. We're going to put a piece of Tyvek on. We're going to glue this down. And then when it's all glued up, we're going to cover it with book tape. Why? Because we want continuity. Okay. So we'll be doing this first thing tomorrow to get it done. Or maybe I'll do it off screen and I'll show you guys tomorrow. And then I'll do it off screen and then show you. But tomorrow we're going to start with making some ephemera pieces for this, just to kind of get our plan set up as to what it's going to look like, where we want to go with it. And hopefully I can find my ball between now and then. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I'll just be like sitting here one day and it'll just reappear on my desk. The craft trolls will give it back to me. And by craft trolls, I mean Harry. the evil little sinister kitty. Two signatures are going to be in this one. So we're going to be looking at picking paper tomorrow as well. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We're going to be doing a lot of things. Like I said, it's going to take probably 2 to 3 weeks to complete.
I have a question about that spiny thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it double the size of your spine? Is that?
Yes.
Is this? Oh, it's the same size as your spine.
No, it's about double.
That doesn't look like double.
It is. These are 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch. This is 1.5 inches.
Okay, so I need to measure my spines together and
Measure your spines together, and then it needs to be double that width.
the inside of the spine, right?
No,
Just the whole spine.
this way.
Okay.
So this one's
Well, 'cause
about.
I'll work on that tonight.
See, this one's 3/4 of an inch.
Uh-huh.
So that makes 1.5 inches.
And I need that tape back.
Yes,
Back
I know.
to you.
It's in the drawer.
Which one?
Third drawer down in the white filing cabinet. Well, after a while, though, Francis, Arlene, it bonds really well.
So, permanent adhesion on lips.
Now, what I would recommend, though, for face taping,
Duct tape?
no, gaffer's tape. That's the tape that they put over wires on the floor on a stage show and things like that, you know?
Duct tape.
Gaffer's tape.
Holds like nobody's business.
That's the cheese right there.
I am going to make a.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I'm going to put this in tonight because I can. You guys have seen me put in a book spine 1,000 times. You don't need to see me do it again. Besides which, it'll just slow the process down for me to do it live. So I'm going to put this in, and then we'll have our base for our book. And then we can start looking at, if we want to, where we want to go with it, working on some of the ephemera pieces. Okay. So we're gonna get started on doing some of those because I just like to, I like to have them. And then I look at them and go, this is what I could do with this. This is where it's going to go. So we're going to get this done. And probably next week, and we'll get our pages selected for our signatures. And then probably next week, we'll start working on the filing folders. So that'll give you, a chance to get some of those if you don't have them. Night, honey. Get some good rest. All right, that's it. I'm scatterbrained now, so I'm going to go. Let's take a look.
That's awful.
Yeah, I'm scatterbrained. All right, so what was this week's? Oh, Harry's Make-A-Heads. And then today is that Scrap Buster 10,000. Check that one out. What else? That's it. That's all I got. Look, if you're new and you're kind of stalking me, press the button. Let me know you're there. Don't stalk. Stalking's scary. Don't do that. What else? Check out the YouTube channel. The community tab here on the YouTube channel. That's going to tell you everything that I got going on, what's coming out, what's coming up. Any free classes that I'm offering, those types of things. I'm usually not this scatterbrained. I just am today. What else? Check out my Facebook group. There's a link in the description box below. And if you were here for the first part and you worked on the card with us and you would like to participate in that challenge, you can jump in anytime you want. There's a link to this. I think there's one in the description, and I know there's one over on the Facebook group. We are currently on week 30, but, I can't believe there's only 22 weeks left in the month, right? But, you can do ones that you want, or you can just skip them, whatever, and just start. We just ask that if you go back, make sure that you mark on the posting, if you do post it, what week it is so that we know what we're looking at, because sometimes it's a bit of a mystery. Well, because we did summer, sunflowers, and flowers, they could all be the same thing. You know what I mean? Butterflies, that could be your pad theme, or washi, that could be, you know. So just let us know which week it is, so we can all look at it and go, fabulous.
It's not even 1:30.
But that's it. That's all I have. I am out of here. I think I'm gonna take a nap. Maybe.
It's like 1:24
But that's it.
there now. It's not even 2:00 yet.
That's it. That's all I got. Listen, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Until I see you
No,
again,
you're
stay
fine, you're fine.
hydrated,
I'm
stay
looking
well,
at it
stay
going,
inside,
okay,
and most
2 p.m.,
importantly,
wait, where is this?
stay well, my friends.
Oh, Kansas.
Yeah, hydrated,
Okay.
cool,
Oklahoma,
inside.
got it.
Well, that's all of it. Bye-bye.
Central, that's 2 hours. So, yeah, that's 1:30. Okay.